do at the start of a game, to be honest, Joe.
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like me.
But yes, we are seeing the players just getting themselves set up. We did miss it a little bit, but the players were going through each other's deck list. So once again, we know, and that's why. So one thing, if you play a hero like Fi, and you notice that how he has his equipment face down, he's only got the one weapon. You should stack all your equipment together so they can't count how many weapons you have, because sometimes they bring Kadachis as well, just as a bit of a note for those of you playing along at home.
Yeah, and I think Matt Clark's actually looking at Fire's deck list is actually pretty relevant, because Fire is known to board in quite a bit of D-Reacts. Also, he wants to know if he's playing the Art of the Phoenix Wars. I think in this matchup, it will be hard to resolve them, given that there won't be much space if Matt is hitting his Disruption.
The Disruption is going to be what Matt Clark is looking for, but also, as we've seen it many times with this Marionette deck, they also can just kill you. It can just go, and they can just find all 3 Kiss of Deaths, all the Justinics, and transform it very quickly. And sometimes you just die. But the handshake has been declared. Matthew Clark being the highest seed. Was Matthew the highest seed, actually? I think maybe not. Let me double check. No, he was the highest seed. So he has decided and opted to go first here. Wants actually the tunic counter more than anything. And interesting, is that cognition?
Is that
notes?
No, coercive tendency.
Oh yeah, sorry, coercive. Yeah, sorry. We've had so many dashes. Coercive tendencies in the hand of Arakni Marionette being pitched away, and Taufik. Yeah, you see the smile. He's like, "What is this?
What on earth?" Matt, we need to find out what this tech is, and we need to find out now. This is insane.
Interesting. So this might not be a traditional Marionette list coming across. Now, the most common thing that we see, though, is the Hunter's Clave is being attacked with. And we are already seeing an overblock from Taufik.
Oh, interesting.
Interestingly now, even though maybe we should be talking about Arakni being an underrated injured, because Pain in the Backside is the second attack to come through, which also threatens to flick a dagger. Oath of Loyalty will be declared. And then the second dagger is just going to get flicked, and immediately popping the Omen's Boots. But instead has the punish as well. It discards to mark your opponent. And so that defensive tendency gone. And Matthew Clark able to bait it out and is going to roll. We'll see what it lands on. It is actually going to be Funnel Web.
Oh, he hits Widow.
Oh, Widow, sorry.
Black Widow. That is huge, Matt. Popping the boots without getting the block value and then Matt responding by instant speed marking him is just an actual blowout.
Oh, you want to talk about a blowout? Looking at the hand drawn up for the side of Matthew Clark, save a bloodshed alongside a Kiss of Death and a Stains of the Red back. One of your opponent's mark. That is a terrifying hand to fight into alongside the arsenal being deployed. Taufik, has also, however, drawn up an Art of Phoenix War. And you were saying about not having any space, but on the first turn of the game, that's definitely a little bit of space to find.
Yeah, but looking on the side of Matt Clark,
also drew the Phoenix Flame as well, naturally.
Oh my goodness.
You want to talk about both players having a game of their life? Both have found the key pieces that they need. Now, Matthew, we will likely see actually using that mask here on whatever this first attack is, but Taufik just rips the absolute nuts. Art of Phoenix War alongside the second copy of Phoenix Flame in the deck. Very frequently, these fire decks actually trim down to 2 in these aggro matchups.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Matt. Purely because drawing 2 in a hand can be a death sentence if you don't have a blue. Now, I think he's gotten really lucky to rip the Phoenix Flame, but most notably, he hasn't drawn a blue with it. So this hand is a little bit clunky.
Yeah, but still sending plenty of damage across. Rising Resentment for 4 in this instance will be swinging immediately across. You saw Matt just reaching, takes the damage. Now the player's just considering, just checking in the sideboard, being like, did I sideboard this in? I said you're not allowed to look at your opponent's deck list, but you are allowed to look at your own sideboard.
That changes things somewhat.
Now just considering.
Yeah,
Now, Fire is tapped, you have to remember, from the boots. So that's why he does still have a Fire activation available to return it. And you have to remember that that is just an instant. It doesn't actually revolve tapping. So that's why those Omen's boots are actually so powerful, because a lot of heroes don't actually need to tap to activate their abilities.
Now I'm trying to see what's in the hand here for Taufik. He hasn't just... Is that a Warmongers?
I think it
He's got
is.
a Warmongers.
Oh, and we actually see there's a pause right now because Matthew hasn't taken the damage because he's considering and he's gonna do it. He's immediately popping Mask of the Pouncing Links. We see a lot of these Fire decks, instead of running Mask of Momentum, they want to combo you out. And interesting, not going for a traditional card, finds the Fire that burns within because he has found a blue Warmongers to be able to play it and then return the Phoenix Flame as well to be able to discard and just keep digging and pushing the damage through.
Yeah, it is a common play line with these new age Fire decks. Not just always cracking the Mask for a Lava Burst, but cracking the Lava Burst on an Art of the Phoenix War turn to find an extender and even go a couple chain links wide, picking up something like an Inflame.
So yeah, immediately just going to send the Ember Blade. Now it's important a rules interaction with the Fire that burns within. Because it's not an additional cost to do so, this is technically an attacking card, and in response to the discard trigger, you can return and discard like that. So that's why it was free in this instance. That's how we had enough resources. 5 damage coming across now, and another card drawn. And I do believe that might have been an Ignite on the back end. Not 100% sure, but see Matthew Clark immediately just saying, you know, I don't need the damage. And it's really interesting as well. He's actually kept himself in Black Widow as well. So really is emphasizing the hand disruption in this instance. Ignite to come across for 4 here.
4. Huge. What does he finish with?
Oh, and finishes with a Rowdy Locals as well. An interesting card. We don't see it every single time, but Rowdy Locals is something that a lot of these Fire decks, I remember the team, when we were talking about the calling, were on multiple copies of Rowdy Locals, and it's a card they really find. And Matthew suddenly finds himself at half his life total. But as we said before, Jai, the cards that he has found is also the equivalent of what Taufik just did.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. His hand is diabolical. He's got Save a Bloodshed, Up Sticks and Run, Kiss of Death. And guess what he can do, Matt? He can activate Black Widow, give the Kiss of Death on hit banish, and then flick the Kiss of Death for another banish later in the chain.
Importantly to note as well, there is also a Stains of the Red back in hand. So it does also have the ability to give it go again. Opponent is still marked, and that's important to note for the side of Matthew Clark. And Taufik understands as well now that because of the banish effect being present, he might actually, I wouldn't be surprised if he just dumps the hand. Because there is a very high chance you're not keeping enough anyway, and you kind of want to minimize the amount of damage. But this is an incredibly powerful turn from Matthew Clark. Didn't realize it was an up sticks and run in the arsenal there as well.
Absolutely, Matt. And like you said, it makes a whole lot of sense here to just dump the hand, because if you see Mark of the Black Widow, you know that if this connects, you're losing a card from your hand regardless. So you may as well get the block value out of it.
Approximately. Is $1 million the right amount of damage?
Yes, this is 11 damage currently, plus 3. Should it be required?
I think we're about to see
and we are
it,
just
Matt.
going to see a block for 9. Understands that he's going to take a lot of damage, and in this instance, it's so Stains is going to come across, pushes it all the way up to 14, I believe.
That's 5 over.
Yeah, so 14 damage here, and this is really important. You were saying as well, Jai, if he actually kept the boots, he could deny the flick in the second banish, and maybe it's worth taking a bunch of damage here. But this is just so much damage coming across here. This is just doing the math. So plenty of damage coming across, and then also because it is a dagger attack itself, the Kiss of Death is going to leak, and a card will be drawn here for the side of Matthew Clark. What does he find? He finds Arsenal Disruption. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't want to send it here because his opponent doesn't have an Arsenal.
Yeah.
And he's just going to send Meat
I think
Madness
you're right,
instead.
Yeah, just send the Meat Madness. Maybe on the upside, you hit the banish from the hand. But like we said before, he can just activate Mark of the Black Widow, and that card is gone regardless.
Yeah, so takes himself off Arsenal here. Matthew doesn't want to actually take the risk. Doesn't want to take the 33% chance of being able to rip the card. The card from hand will be banished.
That's 6, right? Yep. I was on 32.
And also, you are seeing, yeah, there is a pause here.
40 to 33, taking 7.
Just because I think he's just flicking the Kiss of Death as well. Yeah, so he's going to banish the singular card left in hand. And I do believe that
Rake
might
Over
have
the
been,
Coals.
yeah, a copy of Rake Over the Coals, which quite often is only a singular copy. Meat Madness also going to be there. The only thing that was relevant in this instance was taking the top card. So we talked about how much damage Taufik did. Matthew just did almost the same amount of damage, and importantly, ripped the entire hand, and look what he's drawn up yet again. Another copy of Save a Bloodshed. If I could draw Save a Bloodshed every turn, I'd be on this deck 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, exactly right. As another interesting thing to note, remember I was talking about how the Art of the Phoenix Wars can get a bit clunky in this matchup. It's also, Taufik's been kind of punished for bringing in that Rake Over the Coals there. It's not the matchup where you get the most space to be able to deploy that for full value, and he would have rathered have a blocking card there.
Yeah, a little bit of a punish, and you want to talk about punishing here as well. Immediately just activating the tunic's going to send across the clave here. Now, this is just for 5, or at least we say just for 5. It also threatens a mark on hit alongside of that extra card. Go again naturally here.
Yeah.
And importantly as well, and this is why Arakni is so scary, because we've seen already it can have turns where it goes 4 chain links wide and is pretending to be a ninja. And then it also has turns where it just does this and is pretending to be a warrior. So it attacks you from so many different angles. And that's why, you know, sometimes there's some inconsistencies where you draw the dagger pumps and then no dagger, or you draw a whole bunch of reactions, but, you know, you've not transformed as of yet. And we're going to see 2 cards being defended with. And if you're on the side of Matthew Clark, that always feels pretty good, particularly when the next card in your hand also threatens to actually do some damage to that hand as well. Mark of the Black Widow coming across and is actually, yeah, going to discard. And this is super important here. Discards the Reaper's Call, marking the opponent at instant speed, pumps it up to 4, and also rips a card from hand. So 4 damage to leak across, and Taufik once again stranded with only 1 card left.
Yeah, Matthew Clark playing this perfectly. These Reaper's Calls have been insane in this game. Absolutely insane.
We saw the punish on the very start. Frailty Trap. The 3rd copy has been found 3 turns back to back to back. You want to win an aggressive matchup, threaten a card draw. Hey, I heard Mask of Momentum's pretty good. How about every single card I attack you with threatens Mask of Momentum? And yeah, Taufik passes with the arsenal here and is opting not to actually send it in this instance. And we are going to see the dagger coming across, and to the point, going to pump it up by 3. Just damage leaking here. And Matthew decides, you know what? I'm going to arsenal this card because didn't have the blue to easily actually go ahead. And importantly, has marked as well. And this is super heads up from Taufik. On the end of Matthew's turn, pitching away the Warmongers to return one of the 2 Phoenix Flames, because you have to remember it's once per turn. And now we're seeing the transformation also rolls naturally into Spinneret. The Orb Weaver is here.
Yeah, exactly when he needs a Graphene Chelicera. Sometimes you're just better, you know?
He also just drew, I'm not kidding. He just drew double Orb Weaver Spinneret, a Kiss of Death, and has in his arsenal the Save a Bloodshed. This is a crazy turn.
This game's just going back and forth. We've got another Art of the Phoenix War being played over here from Taufik.
Art of the Phoenix War alongside one of the cards that is a little bit people are unsure about, which is Rise from the Ashes. Return the Phoenix Flame and give it +3. And this is where things start to get real scary now. Art of Phoenix War into Spreading Flames. We're going to see some very big numbers real quick. And we talk about how much damage Matthew found and the cards that he's found every single time. But now we're going to see Fire at its full power. 3 cards still available in hand and 5 damage coming across on something that's base 3. And guess what? It's going to start buffing other things up as well.
Yeah, and he's got a Phoenix Flame in hand, a potential to get another one. He's going to go very, very wide this turn. I wonder if Matthew Clark is thinking about blocking with the hat and getting a trap. Because he has Orb Weavers in his hand.
Yeah, we know that there is a Frailty Trap on the bottom of the deck as well, which would definitely help in this sort of situation. Now, Phoenix Flame coming in for 3, +1 off its own ability, +1 off the Art of Phoenix War, and then +1 off Spreading Flames. Searing Emberblade coming through now. Now, for the side of Matthew Clark, he does know that he's not having to worry about Mask, which is good, but his opponent's already drawn 2 cards this turn.
Yeah, and interestingly, we've seen Matthew Clark have these huge turns, save of bloodsheds all the time, but Taufik's just giving it right back. This
4
is a
damage.
Phoenix Flame for 4.
Yeah, Spreading Flames buffing out Art of Phoenix War, and then this time, additionally, with the Shukos, a card that we saw introduced a very long time ago and been an absolute staple for these Draconic Ninjas. Now, Matthew sees the writing on the wall, considering he might have to do a bit of blocking, but this is not the time to do so. 9 plays 18. The life total's plummeting back and forth. Rising Resentment coming through now.
Goodness.
This one is for 5 because there are so many chain links wide that it's already being buffed up by the Spreading Flames. And now if they have Tenacity in hand, this suddenly becomes very... Oh, sorry, not Tenacity. Salt the Wound.
Lava Burst.
This is suddenly
Salt the Wound.
just a terrifying turn.
Look, if he has Salt the Wound...
being reached for.
Sure.
Yep, here we go. I think you have to trapdoor here, right?
He's not.
Not.
Opting and goes, you know what? I don't
okay.
think you can kill me. I'm calling you out. I'm going to go to Black Widow and make it so you never have it. And it is going to be for 6 damage on the back end as well. That's a Blaze Headlong for so much. Now, can he wants it. He's going to have to give something away here. It's probably going to be one of these spinnerets, and it is going to be the first one. It's going to be very, very low here.
Yeah, and I think Matt, we see Matt just chucking the Orb Weaver spinner at the mat. I don't think he's too happy. He's thinking, you know, I was going so well. Why did the fire have to blast me out of nowhere? And that's just what this deck does sometimes.
Yeah, and I think maybe if he'd known what was coming on the end of that chain, like maybe would have gone down your route and gone for the trapdoor. But here we go, though. Has been able to equip the Chelicera. Guess what's in the arsenal? It's the 3rd copy of Save of Bloodshed. Gets to take a bit of a peek at the hand as well. Knows what's coming back at him. Another Phoenix Flame is sort of sitting pretty for him alongside a Rise of the Ashes. So whatever this next attack is, it is a lot of damage as well. Cut from the same cloth. Such an impactful card. Something that we thought was going to be good, but not as such a mainstay.
And we see an absolute banger in Taufik's hands. We see, is it Hunt to the Ends of Wraith, the card that specifically targets Arakni. But look at this turn.
I love the fact that players are putting that in, knowing that, you know, Arakni might be a thing. When attacks Arakni mark them is such a funny line of text. It's so good. 0 for 4. But here we go, though. This is what? 4, 8, 12, 34, 15 damage coming across here. Now, doesn't have the card in hand to discard is the only thing.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see him do is flick and damage, get the card draw off the saver, and that will let him know whether he wants to deploy the reaction or go wider. Yeah.
Very important to note there when we are talking about Save a Bloodshed as well. It's the next time you hit a marked hero with a dagger, and it counts as a hit off of the flick knife. So super, super important. That it's essentially, unless he has a way of negating, it is essentially free damage for the side. Sorry, a free card draw for the side of Matthew Clark. The question is here, though, in particular, Jai, would you rather just see a card you can discard, or would you like to see a codex?
That is a very good question, Matt, honestly. I think if he draws the right card, is he just going to kill Taufik here? There is potential.
So let me make sure I've done the math right. So Savers +4, Orb Weavers Orb Weavers 3, so 7 +4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage right now.
Okay, so 14. Yeah, okay. So if he blocks with the Tunic here, I think he's doing the math that even if he draws, worst case, a T-Tox, I think he's just off lethal still.
I think T-Tox kills, right? Because 14 +4 with the flick as well. Oh, sorry, 14 +3, but then also the kiss, the flick, and then the Kiss of Death trigger as well.
Yeah, I think just blocking with the Tunic is too greedy here. I think he's going to realize he has to block with a card.
It's all going to be on, because you have to remember the flick's going to come across.
Yep.
And it has to be what is the card draw? T-Tox, I think.
But T-Tox might get
kills.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will
think Taufik just considering now.
Sure.
Flick.
Okay, here we go.
What's the card draw?
Yeah. Okay, the 17. Draw off this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save a bloodshed trigger. What's he doing? He finds a T-Tox off the
And a
top.
T-Tox? No.
The math is starting
He
to be
did
done.
not.
Matthew Clark has ripped his one out off of the top of the deck. Taufik playing around him, but sees the
You're kidding
Tarantula
me.
Toxin. And as a result,
No.
+3 on top of it. 17 life. Is this enough damage? Let's do the math. Kiss of Death is 3. +3 is 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Plus the singular point. It is exactly lethal.
No.
Matthew Clark rips the one outer off the top of the deck. He was dead on the next turn. Taufik had him down to 2 life, but the Tarantula Toxin finds it and gets him there. The one card in his deck that was going to win it, and Taufik sits back, knows he lost to a one outer, and Matthew Clark's going to the finals.